Buenos Aires to Santa Fe, September the 27th. In the evening, I set out on an excursion to Santa Fe, which is situated nearly 300 miles from Buenos Aires, on the banks of the Paraná. The woods in the neighborhood after the weather were extraordinarily bad. I should never have thought it possible for a bull wagon to have crawled along. As it was, they scarcely went at the rate of a mile an hour, and a man kept ahead to survey the best line for making the attempt. The roads were terribly shaded. It is a great mistake to suppose that with improved roads and an accelerated velocity of travelling, the sufferings of the animals increase in the same proportion. We passed a train of wagons and a troop of beasts on their road to Mendoza. The distance is about 580 geographical miles, and the journey is generally performed in 50 days. These wagons are very long, narrow, and thatched with reed. They have only 2 wheels, the diameter of which in some cases is even 10 feet. Each is drawn by 6 bullocks, which are urged on by a goad at least 20 feet long. This is suspended from within the roof. For the bullocks, a smaller one is kept, and for the intermediate air, a point projects at right angles from the middle of the long one. The whole apparatus looked like some implement of war. October the 1st, we started by moonlight and arrived at the Rio Tercero by sunrise. This river is also called the Salillo, and it deserves the name, for the water is brackish.
I stayed here the greater part of the day, searching for fossil bones. Volcano mentions having...
From the Rio Plata, never again to enter its muddy stream. Our course was directed to Port Desire, on the coast of Patagonia.
Before proceeding any further, I will here put together a few observations made at sea. Several times when the ship has been some miles off the mouth of the Plata, and at other times when off the shores of northern Patagonia, we have been surrounded by insects. One evening, when we were about 10 miles from the Bay of San Blas, vast numbers of butterflies, in bands or flocks of countless myriads, extended as far as the eye could range. Even by the aid of a glass, it was not possible to see a space free from butterflies. The seamen cried out, it was snowing butterflies, and such in fact was the appearance. More species than one were present, but the main part belonged to a kind very similar to, but not identical with, the common English Coleus edusa. I am indebted to Mr. Waterhouse for naming these and other insects. Some moths and Hymenoptera accompanied the butterflies, and a fine Calosoma flew on board. Other instances are known of this beetle having been caught far out at sea, and this is the more remarkable as the greater number of the Carabidae seldom or never take wing. The day had been fine and calm, and the one previous to it equally so, with light and variable airs. Hence we cannot suppose that the insects were blown off the land, but we must conclude that they voluntarily took flight. The great bands of the Coleus seem at first to afford an instance like those on record of the migrations of Vanessa cardui. But the presence of other insects makes the case distinct, and not so easily intelligible. Before sunset, a strong breeze sprung up from the north, and this must have been the cause of tens of thousands of the butterflies and other insects having perished. On another occasion, when 17 miles off Cape Corrientes, I had a net overboard to catch pelagic animals. Upon drawing it up, to my surprise I found a considerable number of beetles in it, and although in the open sea, they did not appear much injured by the salt water. I lost some of the specimens, but those which I preserved belong to the genera Collembetes, Hydroporus, Hydrobius, 2 species, Notophus, Caenucus, Adimonia, and Scarabius. At first I thought that these insects had been blown from the shore, but upon reflecting that out of the 8 species 4 were aquatic, and 2 others partly so in their habits, it appeared to me most probable they were floated into the sea by a small stream which drains a lake near Cape Corrientes. On any supposition, it is an interesting circumstance to find insects quite alive swimming in the open ocean at 17 miles from the nearest point of land. There are several accounts.